Excellent. Question 6, Jimmy.
To ask the Scottish Government what representations it has made to the UK Government regarding the impact of the Syrian conflict on the Scottish Government's external affairs strategy.
Minister Humza Yousaf.
The Scottish Government's international framework sets out a strong and enduring commitment to securing democracy, the rule of law and fundamental human rights across the world. And keeping with that commitment, the First Minister wrote to the Foreign Secretary last September, the Prime Minister in January, about the situation in Syria, urging the UK Government to support the resettlement of those fleeing the conflict who are most in need, and stating, of course, that Scotland would play her part in providing a welcoming, safe home for Syrian refugees. This was reiterated in a letter from the First Minister to the Home Secretary on the 4th of March, and I am pleased the UK Government have agreed to do so.
Thank you. Eadie.
I thank the Minister for that answer. While the UK Government's provision of humanitarian assistance to Syria is to be welcomed, the UN High Commissioner has called on EU member states to provide shelter to 30,000 of the most vulnerable Syrian refugees. Germany has agreed to take 10,000 refugees, Sweden has accepted 25,000, while the UK has agreed to accept only 500 refugees. Does the Minister agree that the UK and Scotland should do more, much more, to assist people, men, women and children escaping the humanitarian crisis in Syria?
Minister.
I thank the member for the question. I think it's important to reiterate that the UK Government has played a leading role in terms of overseas aid and development to the Syrian crisis, over £650 million in terms of aid, and I think it's important to recognise that. I think it's also important to welcome the fact that the UK Government has agreed to take Syrian refugees. I think the number of refugees, as he iterates in his question, I think we look at this as hopefully a first step, something to build upon in the years to come, because the crisis is huge. It's 2.5 million people externally displaced, and more than the population of Scotland, 6 million people internally displaced. So the scale of the crisis is huge. We should welcome the fact that the UK Government has decided to play a part, and Scotland will also play a part in that. But we'd hope wherever the UK and wherever Scotland can play a further role, then of course we will encourage the UK Government to do that.
Thanks very much.